Have any family members, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles reached out to you since that day in Ada County when the door was shut, Mr. Kohberger?
Yes, we've heard from some of the families. The families that we've heard from directly have all expressed thanks and support for the decision and feeling like maybe now they can start trying to move forward with their lives. We are also aware that there are family members who are not happy with the decision, don't agree with the decision, who have been voicing their feelings about that. And that's certainly their right. I don't begrudge them that. We cannot imagine what it must be like to lose a child, the way these families have lost a child, a sister, a brother, a friend. It's just unimaginable. And so we respect completely how everybody has their own way of having to deal with this and to grieve.
Any idea where the murder weapon went?
No, and I don't think we'll ever know. I know they're
You'll never know because you never asked, and you never made that a condition of his plea. And this is where I have a problem with. And Bill Thompson, to me, seems like a hell of a nice guy, but not necessarily a gung-ho, balls-to-the-wall prosecutor, you know? So, of course, you're never going to find out where the murder weapon went because you never asked. You never made that a condition of his plea. If he wants to plea, he wants to get the death penalty taken off the table. We want to know where that knife is. We want to know where the bloody clothing is. We want to know why. Why did he do this? We want to know, did he, in fact, have any contact with any of these people before this night? We want to know a lot about this case. We want to know everything about it. Or else, guess what? No plea. But it was made too easy for him to take this plea. And as a result, we didn't find out anything.
Questions. It's human nature for all of us to think, okay, well, explain why this happened. We understand that. I can tell you that from the very beginning, the FBI brought out members of their behavioral analysis unit, their profilers, to try to help us develop some insights. And they told us early on, just looking at the nature of the crimes, the fact that there was no direct connection that anybody could find between the murderer and the victims, they said, in our experience, you likely will never know why this happened. And even if the murderer were to try to say something, it wouldn't make sense to anybody but the murderer.
That's bullshit. And you know something? First of all, the FBI isn't always correct in their behavioral analysis unit. I have a lot of respect for them. We've had Jim Clemente on the show, who's probably one of the best. He's retired. But don't use that garbage to make up the reason why you wouldn't ask him questions about where was the murder weapon and what was the plan. And then using like, oh, there's no direct evidence that he had any come on, will you stop? If you don't ask these questions, you're never going to find out. And don't throw the FBI in there to get extra respect. I threw that 3-letter law enforcement agency to get more respect as to back up your actions, because many people disagree with your actions. And I just think that's disingenuous to say that.
And that's kind of the reality. Judge Hippler commented a little bit on that too at the time of sentencing, that it's natural for people to have those sorts of questions, but in a case like this, we aren't going to get the answers from the defendant. And even if he said something, there would be no way to corroborate it or to believe him.
Yes, there would be. If you took him to where he dumped the evidence and he showed it to you, you would know he was telling you the truth. But you're just throwing out hypotheticals of the negative part because you don't want to face it, that you could have gotten more from this defendant if you just simply would have asked and demanded. But you didn't. You made it too damn easy for him, right? No allocution. What did he say in court? He said one word 4 times, and that was yes. Did that satisfy everyone that wanted to know? There's still people out there, knuckleheads, will say, that think he's innocent. We call them the Kohbergers, morons, absolute morons, but they exist. It would have been nice to slam the door on that. And there's no way on this earth, in a murder of 4 young kids, that you should ever use the word closure. None of these families, none of the friends, none of the Idaho community will ever, ever have closure. So let's stop using that word closure. Is it over? This case isn't over. There's been more stories on BK now that he's in prison than there was before. And we all know that there's going to be books, there's going to be movies. I would love to know how many people have already contacted the warden of Idaho State Prison to ask if they could go in and interview him. And I would like to know, what are the parameters to that? What are the criteria? Who gets an affirmative? Who gets a negative on who wants to interview him? Is it the more famous you are, the more money you have, perhaps you get to interview this knucklehead? So I'm not buying these answers. But again, I don't think it was the wrong decision to take a plea. But there are many people out there who are livid that he took this plea.